Well, howdy, maulers. Been waiting for a product to come in that had my sister order for me on Amazon, and I finally got it in. And let's just bring it in right now. This is how y'all doing? Like I say, this is Alan of Alan's Trains and Things. We're gonna try that, and it's still Alan's Trains and Things and RDA in scale, but we we wanted to get a bottle of this Inox and want to see how this stuff works compared to what I've been using for the last about 5-6 years. Um, I know that Greg likes this stuff. Mr. Greg over, and I think he lives over in Great Britain. I'm hoping that's where you live, Mr. Greg. If not, please let me know. And he always takes or when he was talking about the IPA, the alcohol, he goes, "Don't use this stuff. Don't use this stuff." And so I haven't been using that very much. I still do clean my wheels on my engines and that with it in some of my cars, but I haven't used it on my rails for a while now. Actually, it's been a while since I cleaned my track. What I used to clean my track was with this, and let's show you first. Let's show you this Inox Way It Come package, and I got it from JB Enterprises out of Florida, I believe it was. It's in Inox MX3FG. It's a needle injector lubricant, penetrates, displaces, and lubricates. It's got the NSF food label thing on it. It does say non-food compound program listed, and then it shows you those numbers there in 60 milliliters, 2 flow ounce bottle. And it says ideally suitable for fishing lube and gun lube, meaning you definitely can use it on, if you have guns in your house. If you have guns in your house, and if you definitely are a fisherman and you have fishing reels and rods and stuff like that, you can use it for that. And I wouldn't probably say there ain't very many that don't know how to fish or has some type of a fishing, some type of a fishing reel, in their house. Even I've got one laying around somewhere, an old one that my dad bought me a long time ago. But one thing that I like about the Inox is it says contains no carcinogens, no halogens, and no allergens. And then it goes on to say, and I'll let you guys read that. And then it goes on to say that it's Australia, New Zealand, USA food grade certified, NSF, H1, MP, C15, and kosher certified. And then it goes on to say what you can use it for. And it clearly says for model trains, planes, and boats, and great for all fishing rods, reels, and equipment. And then it says directions for use. And it says product of Australia, Candan Industries. I believe Greg might live in Australia. And if he does, Greg, I'm sorry. I was thinking that you might live. But if you live in Australia, down under, I would love to visit down there. I would love to see some of Australia. Don't know if I'd want to see some of the critters or not, but I think I'd love to see some of Australia. I live in a great country myself, but I would love to see some Australia. I'd like to see Sydney and around there and see what it's like around there. I think it'd be really pretty. But this does show here on the back that it is with the food. As I said, Mr. Greg, when he shows his videos on his trains, Mr. Greg shows he uses a spray from a spray can. And then I know they have a little pump bottle. I was wondering if Greg could comment if he sees my video and just let me know. Yes, I've used this. Yes, I've used this before in the past. No, I've not used this before in the past. I'm assuming that it's about the same thing. It's just food grade approved. But like I say, on the ACT stuff, this is what I've used for the last 5-6 years, and I'll keep the inox in there in the shot too. And it just says cleans and leaves a non-slippery conductive coating for improved electrical contact that enhances the performance of DCC and sound systems. Improve slot car track contact. Read the instructions. And it just says, pour or dab a small amount on a soft cloth or swab. Rub on track until no more residue is noticeable on the cloth or swab. Repeat if necessary. It does say do not soak the roller across the length of the roller, may cause shorts. So, I have seen, or I have read, I haven't seen, I have read, and maybe I need to look and see if there's any YouTube videos. I have read that there's some guys that have locomotives that has the, I think they call them, or pantograph. They actually raise up, touch the overhead lines, the metal lines, and that's what, puts the power into the locomotive. There was some guys that were a long time ago that were using them, and they didn't work well. And a modeler tried some of the ACT, and it really improved how the engine, he took a rag and he put some of that on the pantograph lines, on the, the overhead lines, which are basically be like a piece of solid copper wire. That's what it would be, maybe coated, like they might be coated in like the nickel silver that we see on our rails. They might be nickel plated on these where they hang over. Of course, they may be just copper. But anyway, he put some ACT on them, and it really improved how the engine ran. And so I got this on the recommendation from Model Train Stuff, Fred and Otis, which was Terrell Owens is the one that recommended to me. I don't know if Terrell still uses this stuff, but Fred did. And it was always great talking to those guys. You could talk to them for an hour and a half, and they would help you on anything. I do know there is one other product that Mr. Ron Marsh has been talking about. And I probably will go in a little bit further in that, because I like my videos to have really sharp, where you can see everything and read everything. This will probably go into another small segment. But Mr. Ron Marsh was talking about No-Ox ID a special. And he got a little can of it. He did use mineral spirits to clean his track. Not sure I would use that stuff or not. I guess if I had a setting to where I knew I could get plenty of airflow and stuff like that, I might use that. But what he showed with the No-Ox ID stuff, he put just a little dab. I mean, he just took his finger and just like this, and ran it through the, the top of where the No-Ox ID just went like this, and then he put a thin layer on the rail, like this, and then another thin layer on the rail, and then he repeated it, and then I think he said you run your engines through it, let them get a little bit on the wheels. We'll go into another segment here. he showed on the NOAUX ID, and I'm thinking about getting me a can of that stuff too. He said you put a thin layer on it, thin layer on your finger, just barely rub into it, and then just down the rail here and down the rail here. Let your engines run through it, and I think you leave it on there on the rails for about 24 hours. I think that's what it was, or maybe after you run the engines on there, maybe you leave it on there just a couple hours, and then you take a rag and you rub it off. Or you rub it, and then it'll already be in the rail, or coated. The rail will probably be coated, but you just use a very little amount. I have read some most of the reviews that I've read on the NOAUX ID, really good reviews, really good they say it is very good. It's a very good quality material, or very good product for anything like, if you have, like I've got right here, a terminal block right here. And of course, I know I'm getting away from the product that I was talking about, but I wanted to kind of tap on that deal with the NOAUX. But with a NOAUX, you can take and put just a little deal of it here, and where you put your wires, if you loop your wire, or you just put your wire on this side of it or this side of it, with that little bit of NOAUX, you're going to have a very, very good, electrical transfer. And it's also going to protect that copper to metal, transition, and then if you have, say, like, you get some of those, you want your block to all be, like positive here, or you want it to be all negative, you can get those little, deals that loop around. You could also do it with wire. You can also loop that for wire. Make this all red, or make one all negative, and use a little bit of that NOAUX, and it will protect it. NOAUX, I have heard, is been around since I believe the middle 60s, maybe the 50s. Bell Telephone was using it on all their stuff. And they have said that they have opened boxes that have been setting for years, where they've had connections or whatever, and they have put the NOAUX on there, and the connections are just as bright and shiny and have not corroded or deteriorated. It's all, really, really, has a really good look to it. And like I say, you can put them on this stuff, any connection like that with the NOAUX. You could also, like your connections here for your power cab, your on your cords like this on your, if this will focus, yeah, there she goes, on your, this is what I use on my Pro Cab. You can put it on that. Any connections. I mean, any of your connections, like if you look underneath here on my layout, any of these connections you can put it on. Anything that you're wiring in here, you're wiring in up here, you can do that on. And even, you probably could even and it might help improve DC. I know some of the easy connects for like Kato and stuff like that. You probably could put a little dab, inside there where you plug them in and have a good connection there. So I think that No-Aux ID, from just what I read, is very, very very good to use. You just don't want to overuse it. I've seen some guys say that you overuse it, you're going to have issues with it. Guys that have used it on ham radios and stuff like that say that their transmitting signals went way down, and they figured it out why. They put a little too much on it. They just said very little, like probably putting a little bit on the threads, where you screw your threads, on the bottom of your antennas, and just a little bit maybe where your center of your coax is, just a little bit there. So I think it's good. It's just you don't want to overuse it. And I guess that's with anything. But another product that I would like to get, I mentioned about the IPA, and I mentioned, Greg going, don't use this stuff, because it's got water in it. I have found a product on doing a Google search. It's called Derma Hands. They sell both hand sanitizer, which you can get at either normal hand sanitizer like and it'd be like Purell, or you can get it with aloe vera in it, which will help protect your hands. But they also sell in their IPA or isopropyl alcohol a 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. It's hospital grade approved, and it does not contain any water. In visiting with a gentleman in when I called, and I called the consumer line, or the when you're asking product services line, or you're wanting to find out about getting the product. I talked to a gentleman, and he said that the company ran tests on the product, and the test proved that, and they may have paper on this, they may have documents on it, that it does not contain water. Which for me, I would rather use alcohol than use mineral spirits. I think I just think mineral spirits is just a little too strong. What I read from it, even the non-scented or the non-toxic, or there's a version out there that you can buy that, and I used to use mineral spirits and stuff like that back when I was in high school. We use that to clean our guns out and stuff like, when we would do our, putting on our, I always call it shellac. When we put on our finishes for our cabinets and stuff like that, we had to have a way to spray our guns out. Of course, we had a spray booth that had a door and had a very strong suction fan. And then we would hold our guns out. And of course, we had a high pressure line to that ran through the guns, that was from the air compressor, big air compressor that would shoot it out and, get rid of it and clean the gun out. We always wanted to make sure our guns were clean. Of course, now we may have used something other than mineral spirits, but it's been a long time since, being in high school. I'm 51, and I was in my last year of woodworking was in 87. And then I went and worked on a big house. And so, probably go in one more segment here. And, I'm just not really, living in an apartment like this and the setting, I'm not fond of using it. I'm not really fond of using it. I'd rather use, if I can get some of that Dermahands, like I mentioned, and it is 99.9% alcohol. I mean, not alcohol free. It's been, water, no water in it. I know your 91% isopropyl and some of your ones they show that it has purified water. I've got a bottle right up there now, and I think it says it's got purified water in it. So, but great for using on wounds and stuff like that. You got a cut or you got something like that, great for that, but not good for model railroading because it says it can get in there and cause problems with the rails. But if the 99.9%, no water in it, maybe that could be used. Like I say, this video, I want definitely Mr. Greg that has Fish Plate Films to look at this. Hopefully he looks at over all of it. And one thing that's nice about Dermahands, if you reach out to them, you go to their website, they will send you a free sample of their Dermahands isopropyl alcohol, the 99.9%. You have a little box, you click, or there's a little thing, you click on it for a free bottle of the Dermahands. And you just tell them that you would like to try a bottle of it, put down your address, give them your email. You have to give them your phone number, if they want to reach out to you, your name, that kind of good garbage or good stuff. And they'll send it to you. They'll send you a free bottle. They do have, I think you can buy 3 bottles, and I believe they're the same as this here, which is an 8 flow ounce. This is 120 milliliter, but I think it's close to that 8 flow ounces, I believe. And they sell 3 bottles for $14, and then I think you can buy up to six or something like that for a little over $20. And I don't know if they have free shipping or not. That's something that if you decide to get that, and if you decide to get the 3 bottles, they also sell. It looked like to me in the gallon. I don't think I'd really want a gallon of it, but and again, the Dermahands is hospital grade approved. It does show on their website that it is hospital grade certified or approved. And then it does show a breakdown, of the, the stuff, about it, what it is, what it isn't. And like I say, it does. I didn't see where it doesn't contain water, but the guy said, well, it does not contain water because we had it tested, but we can certainly put that, in our breakdown of it, to let ones know that there is no water in it. There's nowhere to put it at 99.9. So, going on what this gentleman said that was in customer service, I would think it would be, as he says, with no water in it. And I would like to try that instead of using mineral spirits. So, I'm certainly going to try this inox, and give it a shot. I don't know if I'll do it this evening or not. I may or may not. I will try it on one of my parking tracks that I have, probably my inner parking track. I might even put a little bit through the turnout and see how it does on the turnout, and see how the trains run through it. I know my Kato engines, I have not had any problems hardly at all with my Kato engines. Even with the track being dirty, haven't really had any problems with them. And of course, they don't have that they don't have that that little thing in there that helps them keep running. It doesn't have one of those little devices in it. My Atlas engines, on the other hand, they tend to sometimes have a little problem, and I don't know if it's because they're because of them being 4-axle, or just because of the way they are. They're wired up to the frame a little bit better, I think. But and I would probably say that on Katos, you could probably take a little drop of this and put on where your where your little copper bars run, and where the trucks turn back and forth. You probably could put a little bit of this, take a little dab, like a cotton swab dab or something like that, and put a little bit of that on there, and that would probably improve, something there. Or if you have the Noox, if you get you some Noox, you probably could definitely take just a little dab of that, finger dab of it, and put a little on there, and you probably wouldn't have no problems with your engines, at all. I would not think that it would cause any problems, where the, as the trucks are moving back and forth. I don't think it would cause any problems, other than, unless the Noox has got any little, like if it's got any grit or anything like that, which I wouldn't think it would have any of that in there. I wouldn't think it would rub into the metal. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But I'm sure that you probably could use it on there and it would work probably, your engines would probably really come alive. And so, and I know Ron was running it. Mr. Ron Marsh was running it, taking his engines and running through it. So, he was, so, I think that stuff is pretty good. I just haven't got any of it yet. So, anyway, we're going to try this, Inox, and, wanted to share it with you guys, let you know about it. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. I know there's some big storms again. I mentioned storms a couple times. Had some big storms down in Texas and stuff like that, or in those areas. Pretty bad storms a couple of days ago around Yazoo, Mississippi. So if you're in those areas, please be safe and be careful. Tornado sirens go off. Head down to the old basement if you got one to go to, or go somewhere, be somewhere safe. So, get away from those bad old things. But we thank you for watching this. Again, we thank you. Mr. Greg, if you're watching this, please chime in. Let me know what you think on this stuff. And what you think about me getting about it. Like I say, I got it. I did have to get it from Amazon, Greg. Got it from JB Enterprises. I had to get it from there. My big sis got it for me. So I owe my sis a big one. There was no shipping or no shipping charge. It was just $9. So I thank my big sis. And we are going to end the video. I thank you for watching RDA, Alan's Trains and Things. And please hit the like, ring the bell, in the comments. Give us a comment. If you're not getting any notifications or whatever, you might want to re-click the top deal up there. We do the videos for adults only. It's not for youngsters. Not yet. I mean, we're doing this stuff here. This is for the adult model railroaders, 14 plus and older, or 16 plus and older, or 18 plus and older. But anyway, it's for the adults and rail fans. So if the youngsters are watching, please watch with mom and dad. And so we thank you again for watching. Y'all have a good one and a safe one out there. We'll see you. Alan, bye-bye.